Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Fun Facts About Fasting, and today is episode 10. We are now reached double digits, and today is a very important topic because we're going to be talking about how does fasting help with anxiety and stress. So we all go through different bouts of anxiety and stress and different levels for different reasons, and there's like an infinite amount of causative factors as to why we feel anxious or why we feel stressed. It can be due to a number of different things. It can be due to actions that have occurred, experiences that have occurred. But believe it or not, subtle bouts of anxiety and stress can also be due to what we take in terms of information. So we can actually break down stress a bit further. We've got physical stress and we've also got mental stress. So physical stress, you've got the heart rate, the changes in the headache, dizziness, not being able to sleep well, not being able to eat well, you've got an increase in blood pressure. And these are bouts that relate to physical stress. Now, mental stress looks at more of the emotional pressure, the anxiousness, the nervousness, and more the kind of that cognitive change that we have when we feel anxious or stressed. So those are kind of the two categories. But the reason why I want to put them together is generally you don't have one or the other. When you do feel anxious or stressed, you get a combination of these two. And with fasting, as you've seen in episodes so far, we do see how fasting can lower our blood pressure, how fasting can actually help with hormone regulation. And even as we know that a lot of stress can be due to elevated sugar levels or even depleted sugar levels as well. And we know how fasting can actually help there. But what about looking at fasting as a whole in terms of helping anxiousness and stress, but also as a targeted approach? That does fasting directly correlate with reduced stress levels? Let's go into that now. So to make life easy and in an attempt to get these videos back onto around about 5 minutes, I just tried to set out in this series. Here are now a few factors of where fasting can actually help from a overall picture and also from a science in-depth point of view. So first of all, when we look at fasting, if it's done correctly, we can become more appreciative of the things that we take for granted. And having that kind of viewpoint in life can subtly start to reduce some things that we feel stressed about, things that we feel anxious about, by becoming more grateful for the things that we were fasting on. And as you know, fasting is not just about the food, it's also about actions or indulgences that we have. So looking at it from that point of view, fasting can be really useful for that. I mentioned 2 episodes ago about how hormone regulation can be very key, and especially for hormones like dopamine and serotonin. Fasting has been shown to really help regulate those. And we know that they're very instrumental and integral in terms of feeling anxious and stressed at certain times. Something that's slightly off tangent, but I do think is beneficial, is the more decisions you have to make in a day, the more stressful you can be, to be fair. And when you're fasting, you don't have to think about what to eat or what to do, because you can just carry on with your day. And I personally found with myself, the less I have to worry about what I'm eating, the less stressful I am. So let me know in the comments if you think that's also quite useful. From the non-food side of things, we know that when we start to curb bad habits or things that we may not realize that we are very addicted to, that can also reduce anxiety and stress, because they, without realizing, might be causing a lot of the kind of stressful episodes or the overthinking. And doing our best to have some discipline within that through using fasting, that can also reduce anxiety and stress. Now, looking at it from a science point of view, there's been research to look into how certain molecules within the body get released or are integral to when stress is triggered. So one is interleukin 1 beta, one is caspase 1. So one is a cytokine, another one is an enzyme. And these are very important in when stress is manifested from the hormones, for example, cortisol and noradrenaline, to then the actions that we see, the blood pressure, this nervousness, the feelings, that type of thing. And fasting has been shown to actually regulate these and even reduce their levels. So that's something very important to remember. That is also a mechanistic effect of what does fasting do. But I'm generally more appreciative of the other kind of overall figures as to how does fasting help. And I find it with myself, I've been fasting for 10, 15 years, not consecutively, that fasting has been shown to really help me with that. And I would love to see if it has done for you. So do let me know in the comment section below. I'm sorry this video is out a bit later than I planned for this daily series, but I do hope you enjoy it whenever you get time to watch it, and I'll see you tomorrow for episode 11. Take care.